Alright, let's see. What I'm going to try to do in Anthem today is explore while at ground level. I've been doing this quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. Um, I'm primarily an explorer. I enjoy the open world. I'm not too much concerned about loot at my level. I've already gotten to level 30. I've been level 34 well over a month. One of the updates that I hope is part of the Cataclysm. They haven't really announced raising the level cap, but if they could, that would be amazing. Um, because I still get XP through killing enemies out in the field or beasts, some of the wild animals, and I get the XP shown after they die, but it's not really adding anything to my um, level bar. And I hope that they raise the level cap so anything that I kill at least contributes to some um, leveling up process. So primarily what I do in Anthem these days, I still try to work a little bit on some of the dailies, weeklies to try to get, you can get around 10,000 pretty easily per week if you work at it. Um, you could probably spend a good hour or two in the game per day. That's not a lot. I agree that 10,000 for, coming in daily, getting into really what the dailies and weeklies have been focused on is killing faction enemies from the Dominion, the Scar, outlaws, and sometimes they'll throw in a little bit of elite fighters. But and sometimes that gets a little repetitive for some. But for me, I'm okay just doing sort of those repetitive things. But the way that I sort of compensate for the gap in between the update and waiting for Anthem to get the Cataclysm finish, or BioWare to finish the Cataclysm work that they're doing, and it's going through the public test servers, which is only on PC, and I'm hoping that it gets into the not the PTS but the ready Cataclysm onto consoles here pretty soon. So, like I said before, I primarily enjoy just navigating through the world, looking at some of the layouts. I'm still collecting things. I'm still working on Champion of Tarsus. I'm still working on the Might for one of the challenges. Um, and I can show you that as I get in. Let's go ahead and try to start getting into the world so we can get past that loading screen. I always go into consumables and add a little bit of shielding, increased armor, also a combo sigil just based on the build that I've got. And then I will decrease the amount of time that it takes for my gears to recharge. So that's primarily what I've been spending a lot of the scrap that I get from epic weapons that I pick up quite a bit. I mean, there are a lot of purples. We all know that. That's not news. Okay, so I think I've got everything in it. I've got my consumables set. I'm on free play. I do Grandmaster 1 when I'm trying to work on weeklies and dailies. If I want to challenge myself a little bit more and increase the legendary drop rate, then I'll jump over into Grandmaster 2. I've been trying to figure out how to get Twitch to work on the PlayStation 4, so I'm running on a PlayStation 4 Pro. I don't think it really matters if I'm on PlayStation or PlayStation 4 Pro with how Twitch works on the system. But I am currently just streaming straight to YouTube, and that's pretty simple. But I have an account set up in Twitch, and I've linked the accounts. But when I try to start streaming on Twitch, and I grab one of my mobile devices, I can't see my stream posted, so I can't watch my own stream, which means I don't think that I'm streaming live on Twitch. So, YouTube's sort of been my go-to. It's been pretty simple. It didn't take any effort really on my part. I just linked my YouTube account and it just works. But it doesn't really seem to be working that well. At least I can't identify it. I know that when you Twitch stream, it edits out music, or like you can play live background music, but it still saves it so that you can replay it. But I haven't figured out how to make that work on PlayStation 4 Pro. I haven't really put a lot of effort into it. I thought it would be pretty seamless, so I'll look into it another time. But I just wanted to kind of show and record a system that I would like to see in maybe a future Anthem. It's going to be hard now because they've sort of already shown players what Anthem is primarily at right now. Anthem was being designed sort of at ground level exploration, climbing, possibly even doing rock climbing and whatnot. You can see that some of that stuff in the art and some of the pre-production stuff. The art book is really, really awesome. But I think if they would have gone sort of in the direction that I'm going to kind of show you, so here's what I enjoy. Yeah, the game's still beautiful every time
Analyzing incoming signals for unusual markers.
I come up on this. It might be a little loud, so I'm going to go into settings here real quick.
Detecting crystals nearby.
Crystals. Oh, are we getting some of the Cataclysm stuff today? I didn't know if it was going to come on consoles today or not.
Might be the only ones gathering crystals. Be on guard.
Oh. Well, let's look at our challenge to see if the pre-event started on console. I heard that it was every time I go in and
they've torn open a gate.
Ooh. This is interesting. I know that the storm has been happening. It looks like it doesn't really appear that it's gotten bigger, but I knew that this was going on. But let me jump into challenges, see what the dailies are. Path to Glory, dailies, daily combo, daily world events, complete world events, that should be pretty easy. Strongholds, yeah, it's about the same. Elite, daily combos, that should be pretty simple. Maybe it's in the weeklies. Weekly, factions, contracts, strongholds. Yeah, that's pretty much all the same. Legendary contracts, weekly contracts. I like how the coins, like almost. Oh, that's a bit different. That's a little bit different. So factions would always give you coins. Then factions again. Contracts used to. That's really good actually. Contracts used to only give you 10 Masterwork Ember. Oh, so this stream might be something completely different. So now you're getting coin. Usually like legendary contracts. I don't think I ever gave you 2,000, at least from what I think.
They're retreating.
Like even I get 2,000 coins just for doing. Oh, that'd be cool. All right, sorry. A little bit. Let's see what else we got here. Monthly silver.
Good job, you.
Okay. All right. Ooh, Echoes of Reality. Interesting. This is new. Crystal World events completed. Oncoming. Ooh, so this is all new stuff. Awesome. I didn't think this was going to drop into consoles today. I saw a couple of notices saying that it had gone live, but I guess it is. It's in the consoles. Oh, maybe it won't be completely what I thought today would be. Maybe that'll have to be another video. Well, let's go explore. Maybe I'll explore until I get there. But so this is primarily what I do. That's probably going to be a little bit too loud. Let me turn down my audio here. think it might be too loud to go over my... Alright, volume. Let's bring sound effects down quite a bit. Don't want it to be too loud. I want you guys to be able to hear me talk. Music volume we'll bring down to about 30%. Master volume 20. Sound effects will bring 30. 30% seems to be pretty good. Alright, can still hear... Oh, look at that. Crystal. That's my first crystal! That's my first crystal. First crystal of the Cataclysm updates. New stuff. Alright, so primarily what I do is when I'm exploring, and I might be getting distracted by this new stuff. It's awesome to see. Ooh, those aren't normally out here. Those are new enemies. Those aren't normally roaming around here. Mordant Elemental. This is awesome, new stuff. Cool. Alright, so again, I'll stay on ground level pretty much the entire, as I explore. And I will try to navigate the world going from point A to point B, or wherever it is that I'm trying to get to, just staying on the ground, as if I did not have a flight ability. And what I have thought as I was playing Anthem is the level design still seems to have been maintained or retained. They didn't seem to really get rid of it, and I'm glad that they didn't, as if the world was designed for players to start on the ground level or primarily play ground level. And obviously there is no leveling up to have the ability to hover or the ability to fly. There is no need for that. You get all that from the beginning. But what I have, man, this is cool stuff. What I have tried to do to change the perspective on how I play Anthem is to play at ground level. The world looks completely different. The interactions that I have are more varied because I'm getting the paths that I take are different. So I will get more of the chimeric compounds, which leads to the Champion of Tarsus. Not a lot. I think I only get like 1 point for it, and I'm sure that there are better ways. But I've tried to teach myself how to navigate, and I think the compass is very underutilized. I'm not just saying compass as in, there's, let's say that I have a waypoint marker on an area that has, let's say, a world event. A world event will pop up. It'll show in the screen, but it'll also show up at the top of the screen the north, east, south, west compass. It'll show up there too, and it'll rotate around with it. But I think people may not utilize the actual, like the W there, the N for north, the east, to sort of orient themselves. Maybe some do. I just don't think most do. They're more just find a waypoint, go. So see, I got something for Champion of Tarsus. I don't know what it was for. It just see, I got another one, 11737, 737. So like a plane. So, and all I was doing was just sort of standing there. So, like I was saying, I'll try to navigate the world just as if all I have is, my normal jump, and each javelin's going to be a little bit different, and then I still have my dashes. I can still use those. But imagine if you started Anthem just navigating through the world via jumps, and you didn't have your hover. Let's say that the hover was your next, like you get that at level 20, and then at level 30 is when your flight would come in. So what I've done is imagined how hard it would be to navigate the world if you didn't have flight abilities. Now, normally people don't stand on the edge of the cliffs, they just fly down to it. And obviously, I would say maybe you could, I don't think I would get to the point where you would damage if you fall too far. I don't think that should be a level up. So I apologize if I kind of rant a little bit or ramble, but I would say, being able to jump down from almost an infinite height and then just hit the ground without taking damage, I think that should be sort of a starting um, ability. But imagine like I'm starting Anthem out and I'm a level 1, so I can't fly. Yeah, definitely don't want to mess with these guys. They're not really all that bad, but they will charge you. And I always forget their names. Alright, I'm gonna... Is he mad at me? Yep, so as soon as he turns red, they're
alive, but frozen. Get ready for trouble.
Okay, this is a new one. Let's get this. So this is primarily a sort of a destruction type of thing. We've done these before, let's say destroying caches. So there's nothing too different there. A Dominion Shock Trooper. Why is he frozen like that? Oh, a little bit of a glitch there. And I can't do any damage to him. Maybe different weapon. Okay, so I'm not able to do any damage to him. I don't know if that's a glitch or I have to destroy these things. Oh.
Whoa, more crystal. Get ready for more trouble. The soldiers around you are waking up.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so it's not a glitch. That's just how they're on the ground. They were frozen. Now, I'm not indestructible. I mean, I am relatively powerful, but I still can die if I don't watch, what I'm doing. Let's see. So these are a little bit different, so it's not a gate. Oh, look at that. Is that going to be a gate opening up? Oh, that's just where they come in. So those are a little bit different shaped enemies. Alright, I'm going to have to do a little bit of... I have to waste that. I wasn't really paying attention to battling, and I was just looking at the new enemies. There's just some new guys. Some huge backpack on. Hey, what's up, Ambler? Let's give him a quick hello.
Good to see you.
Oh yeah, good to see you, Ambler. Alright. So, I'm gonna go look at this crystal again. I think Ambler was helping me out, but let's see what happens when this thing gets destroyed. What do I get out of it? Looks like just a random drop. See what happens when... Yeah, this weapon isn't the best. Right now this one increases its rate of fire whenever I hit weak points. On there. Maybe a crystal pop up from there. Anyway, let's switch back over to my pistol. That's cool. Little something new. Yeah, I'm gonna need to... Let's see if I can do this. Might be a little bit faster. Oh, I froze myself. This right here would be a cool skin. Being able to walk around like this all the time. That would be pretty cool, right? I think it would be awesome. Like if that was a skin. All right, so man, cool little stuff. These are something that seems similar to the Tyrant Mine. These little energy orbs will shock you if you're flying through the air and you fly by them. They'll look like they regenerate. One thing I have noticed with Anthem, and I mean, hopefully they update it in patches, that sometimes the audio will drop out, like music audio. You'll be into a specific area. If you stay in that area, the audio is good, but if you venture off into some trigger window, um, then sometimes the audio cuts out. All right, so I apologize. I may get distracted, and I'll try to kind of keep to what it is that I was going to start doing. So I try to stay on ground level and move about. Ooh, is that going to be is that a gate that might open? Looks like it's wisping in from over here. Do I need to destroy this? Is that going to be a... I think you can fly into these things. Let's see if anything happens. I think I might need to fly into it. Alright, I'm going to have to go against what I was saying before. So I kind of do this. I'll just jump around and get to my targets, without flying, or get to my destination without flying. And then if I have to get into a specific combat, if I need to escape, I'll definitely try to fly away. I don't think that this gate is open, but I'm going to fly to it, so I'm going to go a little bit... Well, let's see if we can get to it by jumping on that crystal. Try to stay with what it is I was going to do. I don't think this is going to freeze me if I touch it, will it? Oh, I kind of break it if I jump on top of it. It looks like I can jump a little... Oh, looks like I can jump on it. I can even climb and... Alright, so I'm right here by it. I don't think if I jump up into it... Yeah. So this gate must not be open. But, I mean, if there was a gate there, looks like I can jump up to it. Alright, so let's say... Alright, back to my ground level exploration video, which was the title of the video, but I'm going to be distracted by some of the Cataclysm, kind of the pre-event stuff. Which is awesome that they're releasing it. Alright, so... let's say I'm going to be killing some of these guys too, just to get through some of the daily, weekly stuff. But let's say if I wanted to get up there, what would I normally do, or what would normal players do? They would fly straight up to it. But for me, the way I've been playing is I want to try to find a way to get up there just by, the geometry and by climbing and by parkour.
Is strange.
Yes, it is. Brewing above us. It is definitely brewing. So, and I'll show you that. So, if I need to fight a couple guys, I will. But I've learned that there's a space over here that I can climb up. I haven't found every way. There might be a way to jump on some of these shanty kind of buildings here. I'm pretty sure these are Scar. These are Scar or Outlaw. They're definitely not Dominion, but I'm going to say Scar just because there's a lot of Scar around it. But I found this area over here. This is kind of cool. See, everybody, if we just wait and give them time, they'll get to fixing it. I know that their focus, BioWare's focus, had to be on fixing the issues that Anthem had. So the Cataclysm sort of...
Something's headed your way. Looks like brutes. Whoa, more crystal. Get ready for more trouble.
One thing I don't like right now, I'm not in a...
The Dominion are after the crystals too.
I'm not in an event, a world event, or an encounter. One of these other players are. Let's see, they've got Destruction 90 and Creighton 37 over here. let's see. So I've got this guy here, Destruction. I've got Creighton, and then I've got Ambler. So these three other players, it's a full map, are doing events, but I get the audio as if I was with them. I imagine we're sort of a Javelin team. We're not working directly with each other right now. But, so anyway, sorry. Back to where I was at. Alright, so ground level, if I wanted to get up there without flying, let's say that I was a level 1, I didn't level up my Javelin yet, would I be able to get up there? And yes, you can, just by jumping on these little these little buildings. So I'll kind of show you what I normally do. And this is the way I like to explore. It kind of gets me familiar with the map a little bit more. It gets me familiar with geometry. It lets me know where certain sight lines are at. I found new ways to dodge into cover if I need to battle, just based on navigating through the world a little bit more like this.
Hey,
so
the Dominion are after the crystals too.
Okay, thank you. I'm not actually participating in that right now, but I would probably say that the Interceptor is the more agile, obviously. I mean, I don't have to prove that to anybody that's played the game, but I mean, if you're watching this for the first time and you're kind of getting a feel for Anthem, I could fly up here, and I'll show you that after I do this way. So let's say that if Anthem was designed this way, I'm a level 1 character, and let's say that I can't fly. Can I navigate the world without having to use my jets? So I've pretty much reached my destination up here before I was down there. So it is possible, but they didn't. I don't think they necessarily designed it that you could do it this way, because right now I'm trying to walk up in, straight, and I can't. I've reached the limit of, there's like an invisible wall right here. Like I can't walk forward. I wish they pushed that kind of stuff back a little bit. But I found sort of this small edge that allows me to jump up a little bit further. So I'm pretty much here. I can do that with 2 jumps. I don't know. I haven't gone through every individual Javelin, but I think their first jump can change based on how long you hold the button. So if I hit it just a little bit, or if I hold on to it, she'll get a little bit higher. And I say she, I mean it's relatively gender neutral. This Javelin shape, while I think feminine, and they did when they showed some of the artwork that they made for Anthem leading up to going through its production, and they had sort of a feminine Javelin interceptor and a male Javelin interceptor. But this one, to me, just based on the accentuation, the accent in the area of her rear end, my character is female, or my pilot is female, so it kind of just fits in that way. But they had more, a bulkier version for a masculine versus a feminine. But anyway, I digress. And that's not good. So again, this still happens to me. It does drop me out, and this is primarily due to my internet service provider. I started with my internet service provider, and it was at the highest megabits per second, and I think that was like 300 or higher. But then I don't have cable, and I just had internet, and I don't have a phone. I just use cell phones. I don't see any real need for a landline, I guess, for batteries, but if battery goes out on your phone, you might want a landline. But I just use my cell phone. I mean, I paid $1,000 for an iPhone. I don't really need a landline. So I tried to upgrade my service provider, phone, TV, and internet in a package, and I did that so that I could watch like the Olympics, or I did that so I could watch a specific show that came on, and I only wanted it for a month. But because I started that, I had the highest level internet. I started this package deal with a. I didn't need the phone, but I just wanted the TV, so I added it in there just for the month to watch, and then I was done. I guess it automatically. I was like, "Hey, can you send me back over to just having the high quality internet?" And they're like, "No, it's actually gotten more expensive. That was a service deal. The server has shut down." Oh, okay. So this time it was. Check the forge. Okay. Hopefully I can jump into another server. But I've had a lot more drops because now I'm at only at 100 megabytes per second versus like the ultimate level or whatever it is. So I've had more drops. Some of that might be a product of the Anthem servers that they need to work on a little bit, but I never had any dropouts ever whenever I had a higher internet. So anyway, one other thing that they need to fix that I've had a problem, I don't know if anybody else is having a problem, is you see that up on the compass, the word bubbles, sort of the conversation bubbles, are pointing me over this direction as if I have something to go to. And I figured she'd give me a couple more sort of, I don't know if you call them quests or storyline information inside the Fort Tarsus. But you can see how the word bubble's there, but when I try to go towards it, it disappears. It'll show up every once in a while.
Nothing. She never wrote you back? Nope. Never got anything after the last letter. It's been a whole month.
Maybe the letter got lost. Mail isn't so reliable.
Maybe. Maybe she's ignoring me.
Okay, so the reason why I laugh at that is I understand there's some like heated debate or dislike with some.
It's a little like her to ignore you.
Well, I wasn't trying to be harsh.
Like, just imagine this is like fans talking to BioWare.
I just hope it isn't the last time we speak.
I mean, sometimes I think that if you could take everything out of context, you really can. But I'm just saying, some of the conversations that they have with the characters, just because I was, sorry, I digress a little bit, but I'll try to do it as I'm moving into other areas of the map. But you take some of the conversations.
Or night, or heck, sometimes I lose track down here.
He's saying some new stuff. He used to talk about grilling and man has to have standards or something. And he would say that same thing every time I'd walk over here. Halleck would say that over and over again. I don't know if he's going to say it anymore, but let's see if Faye says anything new. Oh, is that different? No, not yet. Ooh, she's going to say something new. Oh, this is the first time she's had an actual word bubble over her in a while. Let's check it out.
I'm glad you stopped by. I had Errol look at the sample you brought back from that Dominion camp.
Oh, this is a new one. This is new. Yeah. Oh, you get along with her now?
Wait, really? I thought Matthias drove you up the wall.
Matthias talked enough for 3 people. Now that there's actually 3 of him, they're each tolerable.
Why'd you ask Errol and not Maddie or Sumner?
We were talking about radio shows and it happened to come up. The substance you found all over the soldiers in that Dominion camp is a byproduct of the Anthem.
So it's something like Ember.
Errol thinks it's formed in a similar manner, but the properties are completely different. And the Arcanists, who have studied Ember for centuries, have no record of anything like it.
And this just happened to come up in a conversation about radio shows?
Altering reality comes up a lot in adventure show plots.
Wait, altering reality? Like the Monitor wanted to do?
Exactly. Arcanists think Ember forms when energy from the Anthem overflows a Shaper instrument. The same way that water boiling over from a pot leaves evaporite minerals all over a stovetop. And this new material is appearing in very dense concentrations around Dominion equipment, so...
So it's their pot boiling over?
They're making the Anthem overflow somehow. No one should be able to do that.
I've generally used L2 for my responses. They seem to be more sort of neutral or positive or more conservative replies, and the R2 I found are more strict, to the point, and not very compassionate. Generally, what I've noticed, and I play primarily the female character that I'm using as more compassionate, more understanding type of responses. And there are some, and I don't want to spoil anything for those that haven't gone through the main story. But you can talk to somebody and be more brash and respond in ways that would turn them off or send them away outside of Fort Tarsis, or you could, you can make choices that will change the people that remain within Fort Tarsis. So, but I've generally used L2.
Don't worry, Faye. Whatever their plan, it's obviously not going well. Unless they wanted to destroy their own camps and cover themselves in mystery gunk.
Most of the Dominion forces that attacked Freemark 10 years ago died when the Heart of Rage opened. Even a failed plan to control the Anthem can threaten the whole world.
It's really nice to see.
The chronicler yet. She's
Prickly.
Proceed with caution.
Proceed with caution. Oh, so I got a little distracted. I thought maybe there was a third person sitting here. I don't know if you've seen some of my other videos, but this area where the ciphers sit in these consoles, they may not be called consoles, but this one would be the only one that would be open, and then the cipher that your cipher, don't want to spoil anything, would show you kind of sitting in here, or show him sitting in here, and then this one would be worked on. There would be somebody working on this, and then here, this one wouldn't even be installed, or maybe it was covered in a tarp, and there was a short period where there was a bunch of chests, like the Elysian chests, and yes, people, that was a limited time event. It wasn't something that they took out. It was something that they threw in for a limited time. They told us it was going to be gone, but something that looked like Elysian chests, or they may be some chests that you could see out in the world. This chair was gone, and the chests filled the area instead. So this changed a bit. So I was a little excited to see if there was a third person or cipher sitting here. It is so nice to see some new stuff happening here inside Fort Tarsis. So as much as I want to walk around and see what other stuff has kind of changed, and again, most of this stuff, if you've seen some of my walk through Fort Tarsis or Fort Tarsis tour video, let's see if I know that this, I believe, is supposed to open whenever the Cataclysm starts. I think from what I may have seen in the PTS streams, I believe this area right here, this whole tarp thing, will open up. Yep, and then these things are still being worked on, so that's all still the same. Alright, let's see if I can jump back into the server. I kind of got off on a little tangent there. It's unfortunate that I got into a server that was closing. I didn't get a warning. Usually I'll get a warning saying I need to jump out of there. And then I'll do so. But I usually try to stay within free play long enough to get a full cache of loot. And then I'll jump out, dump what I don't need, keep what I want. I guess I'll have to probably craft a couple more of these. Let me back out of there. Whoops. Jump back in there. Free play. Alright. Need to craft a couple more armor sigils. Another thing that I'm seeing is, and I'll post this up on the forums for BioWare, but when I craft something, go back over here. So I want to craft another armor sigil. After I craft it, I can no longer move up, down, left, or right to select any more. I'm sort of locked on the one that I've crafted. I don't know why that is. I usually craft about 5 of these, or at least so that I have 5. So then when I go back, if I want to go over to another one, let's say that I want to craft this guy, if I go back to the craft, it's still locked onto the last one that I previously crafted. So I can't like go down and craft a couple more combo sigils. What I have to do is go back to the equip. I'm on slot 2. I have to get out of it, back out of it, go back into selecting the thing I want in the consumables, go back to craft, and now see I can move about, but as soon as I craft something, it'll lock onto that area. So I'll put in a trouble request for them to fix that in a future update, future patch. Alright, so definitely want some more combo sigils. See, now that I've done that, I'm pushing up, down, left, and right, and I can't move that cursor, so hopefully that's something they can fix. Alright, let's craft a couple of these. Definitely got plenty of epic embers. We'll go back and equip a couple of those, or one of those. I wish you could... I'm pretty sure that you can't. Like, I can't select another one of these and, put it in there. So I can't have I can't have 3 combo sigils to get a 90% increase in my base. Alright, and then in the third slot we'll put a gear sigil, and I will craft a couple more of these gear sigils. And the sigil symbology, they also need to change so they're the same. So see how this gear sigil has sort of a clock face with an arrow in it. So I'm going to craft a couple of these. So notice that circle arrow with the sort of a clock in it while I'm crafting here. But when I go back to the gear, it's not an arrow, it's a gear symbol with sort of a timer with only one hand versus the 2 that were over here. And I can't show it to you because it's covered up by the X. So we'll go back in here so that I can show it to you. So see down here, it's got that circle arrow with sort of a 2-handed clock face. But when I have crafted it, the sigil here, and when I show it's created, that symbol is different. It's a gear with a 1-handed timer, like with a swish on it, I guess. So the symbologies don't match, so I would craft it looking at that symbology, and then I went back to equip it. The symbology would be different, and I'd be like, well, where did it go? And some of the other ones that you can see, like the combo sigil, it's sort of a star, a 4-pointed star, but combo sigil here is like a vertical explosion. So they're different. So I would craft this one looking at the vertical explosion, and then okay, I've crafted it, go back in here looking for it, and I was like, oh crap, it didn't craft, it didn't take, but it was actually just a different symbol. They need to match all those up, I think. But it's another thing I'll put into the request for a patch, and maybe they can change all those. Alright, so I've got those selected. I'm Grandmaster, I'm in free play, and in we go. But yeah, like I was saying before, sorry I'm getting off on a tangent, is I will primarily play on the ground. That might change now that they're opening up the pre-events for the Cataclysm, so the Cataclysm should be coming soon then. Maybe Tuesday. Yo, Tuesday. It may be possible. And if it doesn't, I'm okay with that. If they need to work on it more to make it right, I will give them time. And another thing I've noticed is this may be a remnant of the infinite load bug. And I think that it's just sort of the way the bar looks. Before the infinite load bug was that fill bar would fill all the way to the right and then leave about as much sliver that you're seeing that has shown that it's loaded, but on the right side, what was remaining. I don't think I'm describing that right. But right now it doesn't look like it's loading, but it is. It's just for some reason the graphic that shows the loading progress is not showing. And it won't show up until it's like 75%. and it is loading. Excuse me. Yeah, so like it'll just suddenly catch up. See, it's like, there it goes. And I know, like, generally the first load into a free play area is always going to be longer than most. But you see, like, how fast that it's catching up. Like, the bar that shows loading progress is not actually keeping up with what it actually is. I don't know if that makes sense, but what you see is not what you're getting, or the progress bar is actually doing its thing. It's just not showing it that way. So for me, it's about 3:13 a.m. on Saturday, July 20. And I'll probably stream for about an hour, probably no more than that.
There's another one. Watch yourself.
Alright, so I'm going to set a timer, and then I'll stop it.
And we're off. Searching through all incoming reports for suitable event markers.
Okay, sounds good.
The
Stopwatch.
Elders are down one of their best fighters. Well done.
I may need to get up because my battery power on my phone is... You know, I've got an old phone. Well, not an old phone. I got an iPhone 6 Plus. And the battery is not doing too good. It actually doesn't charge any higher than 70% of its initial. So my battery goes out pretty quick. Alright, so... Sorry, back to the way I should be doing this. I got a little excited about exploring some of the new stuff, but I'll stick to the way I had it. Alright, so yeah, I will try to navigate as much as I can just by being on the ground level. And I'll explore this way because Anthem looks so much different. Oh, look, I didn't do anything. See, I don't like that. I don't know if I'm going to get credit for this. Like, if he pops this thing open, if Sally pops this open, and, you know, the rewards come, I get this stuff, and I didn't do anything for it. And I say I, but, you know, stronger together. I'm in a server with up to 3 other players, and if they're doing stuff, I might be benefiting. I'm just sort of the janitor. I'm cleaning up. I'm getting a little bit of a bonus from them, but it's okay. Some of the work that I've done, I've had fellow freelancers come in and grab and pick up some of the stuff that I had been working on, and that's fine. We're all getting stronger by working together. If people want to freeload, then that's okay. Alright, so different ways that I could get over there are flying, hovering, or just running. There's plenty of areas here. This one isn't hard to do. But could I jump over there? I think I can with the... I think I can. I'm pretty sure that I can with an interceptor. Because an interceptor has a 3 dash and a 3 jump. So, and you can do it more if you're running. So first one, hold on. So I just did that with a 3 jump with a forward run with a sprint. Obviously you get more distance if you run and then jump. So I could do that without even having to fly over. But most people would probably just jump and then fly. I don't know if they do a lot of platforming. But me, I'll platform. And obviously, I mean, look, they have all this platforming goodness. So why not try it out? Just noticed this was getting destroyed. You know, I'm sitting over here. I could probably help out a little bit. I'm destroying this. I guess destroying or running now destroys. I've never noticed that I've destroyed things when running. I thought that was only the Colossus that did that. Yeah, we don't need those stinking rails. Let's see here. You know, these harvest parts do reset. I'm sure people already know that. Alright, but yeah, so if I wanted to get up to this area right over here, what would be the ways of doing that? Here, I'm going to kill those brutes here shortly. I could fly straight up there, but you know that I already know how to do that. I already know how to fly. But like I was saying before, how do those brutes get unloaded out? I don't think they fixed that. I mean, they haven't fixed it, just from what I've seen it. But sometimes when new players load in, or if a player drops out, then the system for some reason decides. You know, now I think I understand why I'm getting this Champion of Tarsus. I'm getting bonuses. You know, Stronger Together. I'm getting credit for some of the things that these guys are doing out there. Whether or not they kill, I guess I could go over here and help. One, two, dash, and oh, you already got him. I mean, we're on Grandmaster 1, so it's not that hard of a challenge to kill these guys. Especially at R. They're probably a pretty high level too. You know, sometimes it'll lock onto them. Maybe you have to be looking at them. And I don't know if you can hear the music audio, but the music audio kind of lags a little bit. Like, I can usually take 3 guys out with a 1 melee strike if they're closely grouped together. Yeah, so I'll try to stay on the ground level and just jump around. And I need to try that with all the javelins. I know that the interceptor is going to be a pretty easy climber and navigating the world. Alright, the brutes are back. Hopefully they don't phase out of existence. Alright, so what are my primers? Primers are L1. I probably need to get a different primer. But those ninja stars are pretty... They recharge relatively fast. Alright, so let's see if I can find another area to kind of demonstrate some of the platforming. I mean, you can see this is primarily what I do. This is how I enjoy Anthem right now. Is navigating the world, becoming more familiar with it, seeing Anthem from a different perspective. Because, I mean, anybody could jump up and just start flying around where it is that they want to go, but I like to run around. Like, this archway probably doesn't get run under. I mean, there's some pretty good battles that happen up here in this area, because the Dominion usually takes this over, and this area right here becomes good cover. And I know that. I mean, it's not hard to know that if you're kind of messing around at the ground level. So I'll use geometry more for my combat than I will trying to evade by flying away. Especially with the interceptor, with its mobility. And I can never pass up a good dunk in the water. I like the smoother transition. Before it wasn't as smooth as it is right here. I think there would be more of a shake to the camera, or it would, you know, fade in or out. So I like that. So anyway, sorry, I was flying a little bit to kind of demonstrate the smoothness of transitioning in and out of water. See, the melee does a pretty good job of locking onto a character if you haven't overflown them. Sometimes if I overfly them too much. Yeah, you can see how it kind of zoomed in on them a little bit, or it kind of locked on them. It won't always do it. It just depends on, depends on the angle of the camera. I don't know what the algorithms are, but. So I get one, get two of them at once. 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta hover. 1, 2 jumps. Nope. He zoomed out of there. Let's find this guy. 1, 2 jump. Lock on a little bit. Knock him out of the sky. And one more. Hey. Finally helping out a little bit. I'm helping Sally out a little bit. Yeah, see how it hovered there? That was one jump and then hitting the... So I'm glad that it does that. What else we got? Anything else? Alright. Now see, that's generally how most people play. They'll fight and then fly. Fight, fly, fight, fly. To get to the next encounter. But I like to kind of walk, check out some other stuff. I'll find some chests. I mean, there's plenty of maps out there too. Ooh, what is that map? I recently found a really cool website, and I'm jumping onto my phone real quick to check this out. And I snapped a couple of, I did a couple of screenshots so that I could always have these maps with me. And they're really, really good. And this is from game-maps.com. That's game-maps.com. You might be able to just type in gamemaps.com, and I'm sure they do it for a bunch of games, but I was just looking for some for Anthem. And they have some nicely detailed map layouts. I don't want to say beg to differ, because that's not the right way, but I would say without much doubt that they're some of the best maps that I've seen. To lay out, different things, like if you want to try to find hidden places or locations with a chance to spawn world events, the different tombs, camps, all that kind of stuff. And they have the entire world, a full world map. They've got a high road map. They kind of break it down by regions, and they label everything. Like there are regions, like the Academy Ruins is a region, but within that Academy Ruins, it's kind of broken down into little areas. Like if you're in the Academy Ruins, Exile's Arch, or the Palladian Falls, or the Observatory of Valathra, they're broken down into smaller areas, even within the region of the Academy Ruins. So let me jump in here into a map. So I'm in the Academy Ruins, and then right where my cursor is at. So on this map, the smaller areas aren't labeled at all. Let's say that the radio tower should be right here. No, that's Ringgate. Sorry, radio tower is a little bit further down here. So radio tower. Now the radio tower is labeled here on this map, but on game maps it's also labeled as radio tower. But up here, like what is this area right here called? It is the Solarium Court. So if I walked into there, I would walk into the Solarium Court. So let's fly right over here, and you'll kind of see it. Or I should be able to fly into this area. This is the Bullet Myers. So let's see if I get an indicator. I'll turn around. I turn directly around. This should say, I should get an indication when I walk into this area that I'm in the Bullet Myers. Let's see if I get that. Or if I'm already in the Bullet Myers, it won't show me. I'm not quite sure where those boundaries are, but you know how like sometimes you get the indicator. Oops. Going spelunking. I definitely want to pick up these because I haven't picked up all the collectibles, but the question marks could be multiple things. It could be if I pick this up, a journal or outlaw history. So I've got 23. Only 2 more for the complete outlaw history. Sometimes the question marks will be stuff like that you can put into the codex. Sometimes it'll just be harvesting parts, stuff like that, or salvaging. The question marks aren't always things that you collect to complete your codex. All right, so I don't know if I already saw the bullet mires, but we'll walk a little bit more. And I think we're going to go to the south. Let's go southwest and kind of climb up. So let's go back into the map. Yeah, so I've already passed the bullet mires. So I'm walking towards this way. The Tomb of Artenia is right here. Tomb of Artenia. And then as I walk through here, this area, I'm going to walk. You can kind of see where I've been before. I'm going to walk around here and get right around into this area, and then I should get the indication on the game screen that I'm entering the first refuge. It's not labeled on this map in-game, but I'm looking at the GameMaps.com map, and they have that labeled. So first refuge. Let's look at our map and go around to the right. Let's go through here. I wish these things, I know these are just mules, but these things are awesome. I really like these things. They're very similar to what some of the robots are today that show mules carrying things sort of with this quadruped. Alright, so I go around here. I should enter in the first refuge. Make sure I'm still going around the right way. Yep. Alright, I'm going to hug around to the right, and I should enter into an area. See right there at the top, right now it says first refuge. So that to me is pretty cool for these maps. But it'll have everything like that. It'll have all that labeled. And then I could go to, like it'll show the X's. It'll show X's for, let's see, what are Arcanist Ruins. So, hidden messages, footsteps, Vasa's Triumph, different things. Let's see, and I'm sorry, I'm pausing right now to look at some of the GameMaps.com stuff. And they break down each of the... Alright, so... They even have one for Arcanist Ruins. And you can zoom in on these areas and actually see where to get all this stuff. Arcanist Ruins, sorry I said ruins. Hidden Messages, Footsteps of Idris, and Vasa's Triumph. Ruins, they label that out. I think I actually ended up creating 2 of those maps. I'm going to delete one of those photos. I think I double copied it. So Dominion Intel, Meteran's Disciplines, Orders and Peers, Misplaced Writings, Overlooks are labeled, World Event Locations are labeled. Like there are so many World Event Locations that I had no idea. But they show you all that in GameMaps.com. So head on over there and get some awesome maps. You can print them out if you have a good printer. Alright, so... Again, okay, so I needed to get over there. Let's say if I wanted to get up here. Oh, this is actually one area that I wanted to show you guys. All right, so how would I get up there? Let's say I want to go over to this area that says that it's going to give me so that little icon right there with the crosshair, that is telling me there's a character over there that will drop some loot. It's guaranteed to drop a loot. Alright, so these guys need to be taken care of. 1, 2. Little couple wild animals. Alright, so how would I get up there? There's a couple ways. I could go back around and walk up over this way, climb up there, and then cross that bridge, and then go back up over here. This is that area that I was walking up before, right? I was destroying these guardrails right here, which have conveniently been repaired already. But I like to do a little bit of rock climbing. So I like to go up into here into the geometry and find out, can I jump up here and get up where I need to go without just flying? So I think I can. Jump up here, and then let's see, that outcropping rock face right there I might be able to get to with 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I can get up there. And then let's see, where else? Do I think I could get over there? Does that look like a place that I can stand? I think it is. So 1, 2, 3. Yep, sure is. 1, 2. Yep, and I can get up here without having to fly. Now imagine that that's how you had to navigate the world as a level 1, and then let's say when you get to level 10 you get the ability to hover. I'm now level 10. Now I can, push over like this. This is how I navigate the world. And maybe it burns out relatively quickly, at a level 20. Maybe level 25 it lasts longer. And then at a level 30, this is how I get across.
Be careful.
And I say across, but let's say that I'm down here, right? Let's say I'm down here as a level 20, and I try to, jump in and I hover. It's not going to do me much good. It would do great for going over a chasm, but until I'm a level 30, and this is, hypothetical. At a level 20, I wouldn't be able to fly up there. I would have to, do a climb, or I'd have to go back around, and I'd use a hover to go across the chasm as a shortcut. But now as a level 30, now if I want to get up there, I don't need to climb, I just fly. And this is a different way of playing Anthem. A different way that the level progression system could have worked. And maybe that's something that they were thinking of, and it's just, developers and investors get into the way that they want their games developed. Or producers, and they want something particular. But I mean, this is how I like to navigate, because then you can kind of check out some of these waterfalls. This space of Anthem right here probably doesn't get a lot of attention because people are more likely to want to jump around or fly from point to point versus kind of staying at ground level is what I like to call it, ground level exploration. I'm going to go find a safe area, and I need to go use the restroom real quick. And you can just imagine that thematically, I guess I could be using the restroom inside my javelin. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to leave it right here. Hopefully the camera will pan over and give a cool shot of this waterfall. The camera should rotate around my javelin while I'm gone, and I will be right back. don't know if that was necessarily the coolest thing, but the camera is rotating underneath the water, so I need to kind of move the controller a little bit before it times out on me. Alright, so let me go and grab some phone charger real quick. Had to kind of save myself from getting kicked out of there. Still grabbing my charger. And I've just spilt some water, so I need to clean that up. Apologize. Probably apologizing to myself. I don't think I've got any viewers right now, but anybody that happens to jump in and watch the video, appreciate you sticking around. Alright. Alright. So if I did get kicked out of the server, so server's going to drop out in about an hour. So again, like this would be how I would be able to navigate as a level 30. This is how I'd be able to navigate as a level 20. And this is how I navigate as a level 1 to 20. Just imagine being able to get that level 30 ability of flying around, but until then, I mean, you've still got the ability to run. At level 20, you would get the ability to hover and move forward. And then, you know, I'm not going to call it like a Zelda thing, but, I mean, that's what was cool about Zelda. That's the cool thing about exploration, too, is seeing something, not being able to get there, but knowing that you can get there if you put some time into discovering other things, collecting other things that'll get you there. So I was here before. I do need to kill outlaws, and you kind of make notes of where you can find some of these enemies too. If you're trying to get some of those weekly challenges out of the way, and you're trying to find, you're not going anywhere. you're trying to find different types of enemies, whether it be Scar or Outlaws or Dominion. Dominion are generally, I would say, up in the north of Bastion, and Scar are down the south, and Outlaws are, I would say, generally in the middle. That's not always true. I mean, sometimes the Dominion will occupy an area where later it will be Scar, but I think I've always combated Outlaws in this area that I'm in right now. If I'm just working on, challenges right now. I'm not saying that's what this video is about, but if I was, I'd be knocking some of that stuff. Oh, nice, got a masterwork. One thing I have noticed with legendary loot, and I've said this many times in my other videos, and I just like to reiterate it because this may be the only video you watch, and if you've watched multiple of my videos about Anthem, then I'm going to repeat it again. But the biggest issue that people have is the loot, and really the only issue that can be agreed upon that I feel is it's just the legendary loot drop rate, because you can definitely get a lot of the other loot. So it's just the legendary loot drop rate. You get so much loot otherwise. There is a ton of loot being dropped. It's just not what people want.
Large group of scars close by. Be careful.
And it's the legendary loot. It's the highest tiered loot in the game that people are having issues with. And it's the end game. You could spend so many hours in Anthem leveling up to 30, and until you get to level 30, which is the highest level that you can reach, that's when the end game starts, and then people have issues with the end game not yielding loot fast enough, so that shortens the loot, the end game length. So I'm okay with legendary loot not dropping all the time. I mean, I don't see a lot of people in GM3, which is where I bet a lot of the legendary loot stuff would drop a little more frequently. But
Scar stockpiles. We need to get rid of them before they're put to use.
oh, I love this area. It's sort of got this upper area with a large underneath kind of subterranean area where a lot of the Scar like to hang out. Yeah, my melee attacks are pretty good. I think if I dash also too, I get... I don't know if it's the dash that I get, or when I hit them.
Making progress. Keep it up.
So again, I'm trying not to fly any. Trying to do all my combat on the ground, focusing on just jumping. Those aren't doing much good for him.
Very close now.
Oh, I just about died. Where's the other enemies at? I need to get over to this guy. Good, there he is. Almost lost my ultimate there without being able to kill that last guy. I'm glad I was able to kill him before I lost my ultimate.
That should be the last of them. Nicely done. We need to deal with these scars before anything else.
Yeah, I like this sort of multiple tiered verticality of combat. And there's a ton of scars coming around. thought that was an enemy. It was a mine. Got him. This is probably going to be a scavenge or harvest. Alrighty, what did I get? See, there's loot. I'm going to get loot right now. So, I mean, I don't know what people think. I mean, you can't say loot is, there's a problem with loot. Like, here's loot. I mean, you're always going to get loot. You just may not get the highest possible tiered loot. And I'm in GM1, and I think that where people are getting stuck is GM1, or they don't want to play GM2, and they definitely don't play a lot of GM3, so they complain that the loot drop rate for the legendary gear only is an issue. Alright, so, like, way down here. Yeah, this would be a good one. Oh. I have to kill some Scar. Yeah, kill some Scar. So instead of flying up to them and killing them, I'm gonna decide to traverse. I've gotten better with traversing, I think. So I'm not just flying around all the time. I'm getting a little bit more proficient with being able to aim at a character, jump, orient the camera right to where I can jump over somebody, hit the melee button. I think I've gotten a little bit more proficient on that. I'm not button mashing. That's taught me just trying to traverse the world without flying so much. It's taught me better senses, awareness of what's around me more. I mean, you get too accustomed to just flying around all the time, some of your basic traversal skills are going to take a little bit of a hit. It's anybody that they go blind, or they lose the sense of touch, or their sense of smell. Yeah, I got to get away from those guys when they're doing that to me. I'm gonna watch my health bar. If it starts to tick down, I need to use my ultimate to get my health back up. Yeah, I've made the mistake of trying to take those these guys right here, these enforcers, head on. Sometimes I can if they're by themselves, because they can hit me pretty hard and knock me back, and then just put me right in play with their little minions. I call these guys minions, but these little scrappers, which is very fitting title because this guy will do the damage and they'll just sweep. Now, I can take him on one-on-one. He'll still probably melee me and knock me back, but if you're trying to melee him one-on-one with his minions surrounding him with a bunch of scrappers, he'll just sort of knock you back. That'll stun you for a little bit. I don't think these brutes are part of the overall battle, but I like this, the difference in the artwork for the brutes, and then the artwork that was given to brutes that are sort of been captured by the Dominion. Those are cool. Nope. All right. And another thing that I'm gonna go back into rants. I don't know, rant, like some of the YouTubers out there that say every area in Anthem looks the same. But like, there's nowhere else on the map that has this large structure in the middle for Scar, and this Scar built into the side of the wall like that. Nowhere else on the map is that like that. And they say, oh, everywhere looks the same. but if you played any video game that has a cityscape, everything's going to start to look the same. What? Because they're all made out of buildings. Like the geometry's made out of skyscrapers. Are you telling me that Spider-Man game by Insomniac, everything's the same because it's a bunch of buildings? Because it's essentially the same thing until you get to the middle where they have the, not the courtyard, but the park, Central Park. I mean, does that mean that all the geometry is the same? I mean, you're in a jungle area, so I think what they may be trying to say, instead of making it sound like a bad thing, which that's their agenda. You know that server that I was on, the pre-event? I think that was a server strictly for testing out. Oh, an Ursix? Oh, I can take this Ursix. Got no problem with this guy. Yeah, normally, like in GM2, I wouldn't be able to do it like this.
That one's down. Well done.
What you gonna give me? Some epics. I like how during night the water starts to glow. Yeah, I think that server that I was on that was showing the crystals was just sort of a test.
Great start. There's more.
Because I don't see any of the other stuff that was available before. Yeah, I don't think they've officially released it. They're just sort of testing it out on consoles. But anyway, let's say I wanted to get up here. What are my options? Possibly jumping to that tree, tree to tree. I could possibly go around here, jump up there from this area. So let's try that. Like I'm trying to get up through there. Two possible ways. I don't think I can jump from there to there. Oh, I've still got to pick up another 4 fragments. Let me do that real quick.
Making progress. Keep it up. One more down.
Whoa.
Nicely done, but you're not done yet.
Boom. 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 That's over to the left. Alright, last one. Get my chest.
That was the last of them.
God, this game is beautiful.
They'll want to study the fragments.
Like how the water, that's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Alright. Alright, so we're going to try to get up here. I don't think... Excuse me. I don't think I can go from these trees to trees. I even like how the trees start to glow at night when it starts to get dark. Let's see if I can. Let's go from tree to tree. See if that works. 1, 2, 3. And let's go over here. 1, 2. Get up here with a 3 jump. 1, maybe a 2 jump. A 2 jump, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it up there. Do I see any geometry up here? I don't know if that's a space that I can jump into, but we're going to try. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nope, can't make it that way. So let's go this way instead. Man, look at that. The only thing I haven't seen is, I guess that moon is not orbiting this planet that I'm on, or the planet over there. It would be cool to see that actually rotate around. I mean, it seems like it itself, like the planet I'm on, is rotating. And you can kind of see as it's moving across the sky. But it doesn't appear that that planetary body or that moon itself rotates. It's always in that area. I don't know if that makes sense. Or I guess when it comes around to us being able to see it, that's pretty much how we see it. But all right, so now we're going to try over here. This is a new area for me, trying to navigate it by platforming. Is there a little outcropping right there? Let's see. Might be able to jump up over here. Here. 1, 2, 3. Nope, not getting up that way. 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't look like I can get up there either. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up that way from here. So I would have to go the long way around in order to get into this area. So that is definitely one of those areas to where once you get up to a level 20 or level 23. So I think if I got, let's go up here. Nope, didn't make it. Let's go back over here. See that sound that these guys make? Sounds so scary. I wish they had some of that kind of stuff when you're going up against a Ursix. Like you would hear that. Oh, what's this? This is unfortunate. These poor souls probably stopped for a drink in Gathering Falls. Oh, the bones. Yeah, there's a couple areas that have these little pips to show you there's a little bit of information about sort of the layout of some of the scenery. And this is one of them. And I wish they did this stuff in Fort Tarsis too, off some of the things that are collected and put up in the pedestals, or are they pedestals? The pedestals that show you some of the things you've collected, and as your faction loyalties increase, the layout of Fort Tarsis changes, and there's some collectibles that are down below, where Halleck's Javelin's at, where Faye sits, where the shrine's at, down below Bastion on the lower levels. There's a couple of things that you collect, and they're put up on pedestals, and you can walk up to each individual one of those and press the X button, and it'll show you a little text description of it, and then it'll go to the codex, but then the information is now in the codex, and then when you bring it up in the codex, it doesn't have a picture of what it is it's talking about, so you don't really know how to connect those things. So I wish they put these pips into Fort Tarsis around a bunch of different things. So he's like, oh, what is this? And then just a quick little, lore tags around the world would be much appreciated. And I'd have to dart. So could I get over there with a hover? So let's go. I think I can. 1, 2, 3, hover. I think I can make it over there. So this would be sort of what I would be able to accomplish as a level 20 javelin. I'd be able to dart on over here with a hover. I wouldn't be able to fly yet, but this would be another way of navigating. Now let's say if I was just a walker, how would I get over here? Would it be possible? Well, let's see. Now I haven't completely explored everything around here to see if it's possible if I get up here, but I tried a couple. Now I felt that maybe I could jump up there and then jump up over here, and then that would put me into that area. So I think I'm going to try it one more time. I don't know if it's going to let me. Up here, and I thought I would be able to jump up there, but now that I'm closer to it, Doesn't seem like I can. And she doesn't seem to grab on to anything over there. Doesn't look like I can get up there. I thought maybe I could. So let's just say, without pressing too much more on discovering, and I might be able to find it. Can we get up there where the Scar sort of shanty town was on foot? Let's say if I'm a level 1 going to level 20, and I'm saying level 20 just as an example. All right, so all I can do as a pre-hover level, and those that are just joining are. I don't think I have anybody joining. If you're watching this video, you kind of understand what I'm going for here. Let's see. Can I get over to Shantytown? It looks like I can. All I had to do is just go a little bit a long way, and then there's Shantytown right there. I have to go around, but it's still possible for me to get there. It may take a little bit longer. If I'm with a team, they may have to wait for me. And I'm sure that's why they decided, to go this other route. But let's say that this is how you had to navigate the world until you got to... what if it was even level 15? Or I'm sorry, level 10. Sorry, level 10 would give me my hover. Level 20 would give me... no, did I say level 20? However they wanted to level it, you kind of get it. I hope you get the idea of it, but... that's sort of what I'm trying to get at. I've enjoyed Anthem so much since its release. I have, tapered off of it so that I can play some other games. I've recently gotten back into Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and I'm playing through that. I haven't finished that game yet, but it is still a beautiful game. I originally got it when I had my PS4, and then my PS4 slowly started to degrade in some ways. I think it was spitting out my discs. It wouldn't do it all the time, but it was doing it more frequently than it had been over the first couple of years I owned it. And when it started doing that, maybe once or twice a week, I was like, I might want to go turn this thing in, sell it, and then I used that money to get a PS4 Pro. So I got Deus Ex Mankind Divided when I had my regular PS4, and then when I got a PS4 Pro, I jumped back into Deus Ex, and it's PS4 Pro enhanced. So the game looks gorgeous. And I'm highly anticipating, like many people, Cyberpunk 2077. And in my opinion, for first-person shooters, I feel that Deus Ex Mankind Divided and even Deus Ex Human Revolution were some of the best cyberpunk-style first-person shooters. And since Cyberpunk 2077 is going for a first-person shooter, it kind of fills the void until April of 2020 when Cyberpunk comes out. So even though Anthem is a favorite game of mine, I do understand that, I'm not supposed to be jumping or hovering, is a favorite game of mine. I do find other games to play, and then I'll come back to this. And I've never been bored of just exploring and just roaming and seeing Anthem from, the ground level exploration perspective or point of view. Like being able to see, I guarantee you, this little area underneath here with all this rubble in it, underneath this, I believe this is one of the keys. This might be the outside of a key for the Shaper ruins. If it's not, then it's just sort of a piece of the ruins. Like, I'm sure not a lot of people see the shanty town from this perspective. Like, if I want to go take that guy out, I could probably fly up to him, right? Or, let's do it my method. Let's navigate the world, get up there and go destroy him. So let's come back over this way. And would I know that I can traverse this area if I just flew around all the time? Probably not. I would just say, I guess I have to fly up there. Well, actually, you can do some other things to come over and, you know, navigate the world. So see, I mean, I did that. It took me a couple more seconds. Maybe sometimes it could take a minute. But, I mean, see, I'm still able to get vertically, traverse vertically, get up to areas that, you know, need to be gotten to without always needing to fly. So the game could have worked just traversing the world this way. And then, you know, once you get up to level 20, then you have this ability. Now, I mean, you would then start to see Anthem from a completely different perspective. Your tactics would be different. That's why I kind of like the flight suppression. There's some areas that they put you into flight suppression to where you can't fly, and I was like, that's perfect. That lets and teaches people to navigate the world differently. I think it's an interesting perspective to take on a game that is primarily geared towards flying around, and that's what makes this game so cool to me. Is just its mobility, its verticality, the amount of geometry you have to play around on. One thing I would like to see them do is maybe raise the level of this ceiling up here. You know, it pushes me down too soon. And I understand why they did it. Everybody does. But they would have to come back and kind of change some of this stuff too, because I believe it starts to push me off, or I start to hover walk because they didn't bring the... And what I mean by hover walk is you can see how I'm standing on sort of an invisible platform. I'm not actually standing on the actual geometry that's modeled below me. They've just sort of created this invisible area here. I don't know how far off it goes, though. Not really tested it. All right, there. But for the most part, most of the geometry is, you know, matched up for areas that I can walk on. Excuse me. Sorry if my voice tapered off. I think I was leaning back away from the microphone. But let's see. I'm pretty sure I've been streaming for at least an hour. Let's check my timer. And I know about 5 minutes of that was me trying to get my phone charged and clean up a water spill. Yeah, actually I'm right at 57 minutes, so I've got about another 3 minutes since I started the timer. So I think you kind of get an idea of what it is that, how I explore Anthem, how I navigate the world, how I enjoy seeing Anthem from sort of the ground level. You know, putting my feet on the ground instead of just flying around all the time. It definitely, like, seeing this from this perspective versus, excuse me, versus seeing it like this, jetting around everywhere. Still cool to come at it from this direction, but seeing it from, you know, being on foot is also really amazing. Like, look how cool this is, flying through this and going from, you know, these tubes, wormholes I like to call them.
Detecting multiple Dominion signals near your current location.
That is pretty freaking cool. All right, so imagine the perspective that you had coming into that area, and I'll go through it again. Like, that is a cool transition. How cool is that? That is amazing. But now let's take that from a different perspective. What does that look like when I'm not, you know, flying around everywhere? Can I still get down there? Yep, it's not blocked off. I just have to traverse the area differently. Now I'm having to do it on foot. Maybe every time I fly by there, I always see that area. I just need to go at it differently. Now I'm coming down here. This is the exact same area. I've just decided to do it on foot. And that's sort of the perspective I like to have on Anthem, playing around the ground level. And let's see. I'm way down here. Can I get back up here? Is it even possible to get back up here and go back up to Shantytown from pretty much the bottom of this area? I mean, do you think it's possible? Does this look like something that you can traverse? Let's try it out. Let's see. Let's explore a little bit. Let's see if I can navigate up here. Let's mountain climb a little bit. Let's see, I'm going up over this way. Okay, let's go this way. Gonna have to explore a little bit. And the Interceptor is definitely going to be a better climber than some of the other ones. But you know, once I find out where I need to be, this looks like a good spot right here. Yeah, I think this is going to be it right here. Yep. Alright, so I've gone from all the way down there up the side of this mountain. You know, I don't necessarily have to fly everywhere. Now, can I get back up there? Remember, I flew through there to get back up. I definitely can go through this way, but let's see if we can go back around this way. You know, I'd have to try some of this mobility with the other javelins, because the Interceptor has a triple jump. That's pretty powerful. That's the mobility in that is obvious, but you know, do we take the ability of the Colossus and the Ranger? Can their double jump, is it sufficient to be able to get you know, around as well as the... Oh, I got kicked back down. Oh, that guy's gonna die. I'm gonna have to kill him. Let's see, let's get back over here. His little shot pushed me all the way back down. Alright, let's try to jump back down over here. Let's get back up. We're going to have to kill him. He's going to be our primary target when I get back up here. Where is he at? So is he dead? Did I kill him? Yep. Alright, so it's a little dark, but this is the area that I had to come down from before. It's probably better to go over that way. Let's see where I'm at here. I'm just sliding down here. Let's go over here to the left a little bit. Get on the rock face. It's getting a little dark. So yes, possible. Camera aside, I wish you could zoom the camera out a little bit. You know, while you're on foot, you can see, like, for the consoles, you can change field of view on the PC, but you can't change field of view on the consoles. I wish I could see my feet at all times, so if I could zoom that out a little bit so that I could see my feet, the camera wouldn't get so, you know, clobber a little bit. But, I mean, I've proven that you can traverse the world differently, and it can be entertaining to try to find out where the best climbing points are. And you have different interactions this way too. Like, I probably wouldn't interact with these guys all that often if I was just flying around all the time. Alright, I think that's it for right now. It was cool to be able to see some of the Cataclysm stuff. Very small part of it. It doesn't look like it's I'm in that server. It looks like that server was shut down. It's probably a test, but I look forward to getting into more of that as the Cataclysm draws ever closer. Alright, hey, I appreciate you watching. If you watched this long, or if you just kind of jutted through a little bit of it and found the parts that you liked. It was me just sort of roaming and exploring around on my own. Not any revelations, but definitely an interesting perspective to have when playing this game. Lots of updates coming, lots of fixes. I know BioWare is doing their due diligence to make it right, to make it better. Because remember, we're all stronger together, and a little bit of positivity goes a long way. So I hope the best for the Anthem moving forward. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to end it here.